Okay, so Deeper Flowers, right? It's another film from Dances with Films, right? It is from Makesh Palor, right? Who co-wrote the film with Mary Krell-Oishi, um, and Asit Vaz kind of created the whole, yeah, helped put it together, let's say. Right, the film is produced by Asit Vaz. It is executive produced by Santosh Gavandaju, co-produced by Brandon Myrie, associate produced by Naman Gupta, and line production from Mauricio Aruja. Kristen Horn Jude took care of the music. Akash Raj was on cinematography. Carrie Lynn edits the piece, while Emily Schruber was down with the casting. Production design is Carly Wyman. Art direction is Shaib Schwal, um, Taj Amber, and Amanda Massey. Costume design, hair and makeup, we got Meg Wilbur, Brittany Turpin, Ali Shehorn, and Alicia Holbrook. And our cast, right? Our great cast. Shalin Shah is played by Kapil Talwalkar. His love girlfriend, his wife Fiona Chang, is played by Olivia Lang. Right? Shalin's mother, Rima, is played by Mira Simhan. And his father, Jay, is played by Farron Tahir. You've got his best friend, Milan Mehta, played by Karen Soni. So there is Fiona's dad, Mr. Chang, Tony, played by West Lang. Oh shit. I wonder if that's Olivia's real dad. Huh. That would be yeah, that'd be interesting. So we've then got Amy, played by Anita Calafara. Dustin, played by Daniel Kim. Shaolin's Peace Corps friend, Dave, played by Jeremy Culahan. We've got Dr. Baxter, played by Tom Everett Scott. There's Dr. Salvador, played by Juan Gabriel Parija. There's Nurse Natalie, played by Jenny Gagu. Who else do we have? Carlita, played by Lucina Alicia Quinonez. Carrie, Hesla Radlett, played by Dawn Hudson. Evie, played by Nicole DeLugo. Casey Gardner is Christy. Shalin's uncle is played by Asit Vaz. Dean Soni is played by Varun Soni. Milan's mother is played by Suniti Apsani. And Shalin's auntie is played by Mita Vaz. So yeah, the gist story is oh, lost it. Here we go. After graduating from USC, Shalin Shah sets off for Peru with the Peace Corps, leaving behind his tight-knit family and high school sweetheart. But his dreams of changing the world are shattered when a routine checkup reveals a devastating diagnosis: a rare and aggressive cancer. forced to return home, Shalin leans on his loved ones for support as he grapples with his mortality. Through their unwavering love, he discovers that the true meaning of life isn't measured in time, but in the richness of each moment. With a renewed zest for life, Shalin pens a viral manifesto, spreading beyond him and inspiring the world to find beauty in every sunset. Man, right? Now, um, our director, Makesh Pala, right? He has a statement, right? Which reads gratitude. That's the one word that this film has taught me. I didn't know Charlene Shah or his story when he passed away in 2015. It wasn't until a few years later when Asit Vaz approached me to direct the film that I first read Charlene's op ed in the Huffington Post. Thank you, Cancer. What struck me was Charlene's humility and perspective in the face of mortality. We're all going to die. That's a given. But how are we going to spend those days? Who we spend those days with and how we appreciate it all. That's the real gift of life. That was the gift Charlene gave to me. From a 22-year-old, wise beyond his years, the challenge in making this film was how to convey those lofty ideas without becoming sanctimonious and overly sentimental. To that end, we worked hard on grounding the film and telling both Shaolin's spiritual journey as well as the journey his closest loved ones went on, inspired by him. As much as this is Shaolin's story, is also an ensemble piece with an incredible cast led by Kapil Talwalkar and Olivia Lang. Along with the cast, we had an equally incredible and passionate crew who dedicated their time and talent to the making of this film. I'm so grateful for everyone who has come on this journey with us. Um, and I'm excited to share the film with audiences, helping to spread Charlene's message of gratitude even further. We also have a statement from Ashit Bey, right, who brought the story to Makesh and produced the film, right? And it reads in 2015, a young man filled with hope and love changed the world with phrases like "Thank you, cancer" and "Sunset for Shaolin." Shaolin Shah, 22, a promising relative of mine, was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He soon not only accepted his diagnosis with grace, but also helped his friends and family view life through a lens of positivity. Living with love, purpose, and gratitude became his personal epiphany. Shalin shared his message with those close to him, and it quickly spread across the internet, becoming a viral sensation. Shaolin's story, a testament to living each day fully, created a lasting ripple effect. His legacy, touching diverse walks of life, continues to inspire. Shaolin's last wish was to share his story worldwide, hoping to help people appreciate the beautiful gift of life a little more. I decided to do my part by making Paper Flowers, an inspiring film based on his true story. So, yeah, there we go, right? And like Makesh, I not heard of this story, right? I didn't see the post in Huffington. It's yeah, it's interesting, right? When something of this magnitude, like, has been out there and you missed it, right? You didn't see it. But I think it really shows the beauty of storytelling, right? The beauty of film, because it keeps that message, right? Yes, that original manifesto went out in 2015, right? But sometimes things go out and they're big, and then that's it. They're done. But with this film, this message keeps on resonating. It gets that extended life cycle. You know what I mean? And there's a beauty to that. Right. And yeah, this film, man, it's a really nice film. It's a really nice film. Interestingly enough, right? It's Makeshi's second film, right? He had one out in 2013, Braham Balls, right? So it's over 10 years, but he comes back with something very poignant, which is yes, definitely something. Right. Now, I think watching this film, right, I knew where it was going. You know what I mean? The minute you hear the cough, right, it just feels like, oh, there's something to that, right? That's not just a cough, right? So you got, I don't know, I got a sense of this isn't gonna go well. But then you're just wondering, okay, so is it gonna be that story of someone, getting through it, like, something like The Big Sick? But then you get to a point where you realize, oh, it's not that. It's not that, right? Which is like, even though you have an idea, it's still a fucking gut punch, right? Because, like they say, and it's not, a profound statement, right? You've heard it before, but yeah, everyone dies. Everyone dies. It's just most of us don't know the day, right? So everyone dies. Young people die. This isn't new. But I think it's like when you see the love around someone, because you assume everyone's loved, right? No matter, they might not be your cup of tea, but people love everyone, right? But when you actually see it and you see how they've touched people, I think that makes it cut even deeper, right? So all of those emotions, right? Because as Miguel said, it's you don't want to be sanctimonious with certain things. You don't want to be just coying and you know all of that stuff. But you want to try and capture feelings, right? But bring those to life for people. And I think this film does do that, right? Obviously, you have moments which are kind of like, you know, it's a you as I said, what's gonna happen, right? So it is sometimes you might think, did it really happen like that? When people are just like, hey, you know what? Let's go do it. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. But it serves a purpose, right? It helps bring the story to life. And there's these really poignant moments. I think when his mother is talking to the dad and she's just like, I just need more time. Can I have more time? And just the resonance in her voice, right? The different tones and pitches as she's breaking down is haunting. You know what I mean? And it's moments like that in the film that just reinforce this story, reinforce the message, and have it hit you in that motherfucking heart, man. It just hits you in the heart. Right? These performances were great. You know what I mean? Everyone does a fantastic job. Does a fantastic job of telling this story, and bringing Shaolin's, life to a new audience. Like, and it's uncanny. At the end of the film, we see pictures and videos. The casting was insane because, Shaolin and Fiona look really spot on, truly spot on, which is, I think sometimes you get things where people look the part, but then the acting, it doesn't always live up. Or they don't really look like, but the acting's great. Now, this, they look the same and the acting's great. You know what I mean? Which is definitely something, you know? Like we get these really nice shots of like the sunrise, but then just shots that bring you into the emotions, right? Of Fiona and Shaolin talking and connecting, right? With his friends and family and his parents, just all of these different moments. And they're there. And they're there in a way that's very special. You have to give mad props to the makeup people because the transformation that we see, right? The transformation we see in Capil as Shaolin gets sicker and sicker, man, they did a fantastic job. They really did a fantastic frigging job, because yeah, he there's a transformation. There's a clear difference from him at the beginning to him at the end. Right. So that's just it's things like that that really help a story like this, you know? It I think it does have those connective tissues to something like the Big Sick. It also reminded me of a film from I think it's 2021, right? It was called Our Friend, starred Dakota Johnson, Casey Affleck, and Jason Segel. It's a really nice film, right? But yeah, this that does remind me of that. You know what I mean? Does remind me of that. So if you like The Big Sick, if you liked Our Friend, then Paper Tigers is going to work for you. And there's been, a lot of other films that deal with, someone that's been sick or someone that, whether they recover or they die, that have a power in them. Right now, this one, it definitely made my eyes feel damp. You know what I mean? Definitely made my eyes feel damp. And it just reminds you, you know what I mean? Just to not take things for granted, right? To look at the world in this different way. So there's, what I mean, something to that. This is what I mean, it's just a renewed testament to the life of Shaolin Shah, and I think it's going to really just do something for people, I think it's going to help people that are going through situations, what I mean, going through illnesses and that kind of thing, right? It's going to just remind people about happiness and love and just all of those great things, so hey, definitely people check it out if you it is playing Thursday the 20th, right? On the opening night of Dances with Films. It's having its world premiere, people. It's world premiere. 7:30 at the TCL Chinese Theatre. You know what I mean? So yeah, like if you're in the area, right? If you're in LA, I would definitely say go check it out. But if you're not, remember that title, right? Remember that title and look it out, right? If it's a festival near you, whenever it gets its distribution, Paper Towers, Paper Flowers is a film worth seeing. It's a film worth seeing, people. So I hope you get to see it, and I hope you enjoy it. And you know what I mean? Look at those sunsets, right? Look at those sunsets and appreciate love. All right. Paper Flowers.